right. Thank you for this is the Delta College Mental Health Fair, and we were with Laura. And last year, Laura came to us and spoke to us. And I talked to you today, and from last year to today, a lot of things have changed in your organization. Like last year, we talked about just CBT and DBT and just therapy, but you guys are doing a lot now.
Yeah, so we have made huge strides from year to year with Michigan Psychological Care, starting with one office in St. John's, and then expanding to Alma, and then expanding to Midland, and then we expanded to Jackson and Howell in the same year, on the same day, to be honest. And then from there, we added psychological evaluations, and now we're able to do just about everything you can think of, from therapy, individual, group, family, couples counseling. And then we can do psychological evaluations for ADHD, memory, pain stim. If you can think of a psych eval, we can do it. And then we also just opened up med management in our Midland location, and we just hired on a second psychiatric nurse, so we'll be able to have it at all of our offices. So if you came to Michigan Psychological Care saying, I think I have ADHD, we can test for it, and then we can do the med management for it, and we can do the therapy for it. So you have a one-stop shop for all of your needs.
Nice. I think in my history going through therapy, I would always have a therapist at one organization. I would have a psychiatrist at a different organization, and then I would have a family practitioner at a different organization. And there was always a disconnect between who's doing what. And now you have everything, and that they're communicating and working together as a team. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you said, there's such a disconnect from one profession to the next. And so when you're in therapy at one place and you have your psychiatrist at another place, oftentimes they're not talking back and forth like they should be about your care. And then same thing with physical medicine. Your physical medicine can impact your mental health medicine. And vice versa. So you being sick can impact your mental health, and you having struggles with your mental health can impact your physical health. So you really want to be working with all of these people in conjunction. And that's why Michigan Psychological Care has psych evals, so the psychologist, and then we've got the therapist and the med management. And then if you sign a release saying, yeah, we can talk to your physical med doctor, your primary care, we also talk back and forth with them so that we can make sure you're getting your care, your needs met at every single place.
Amazing is that?
Right. You know, like we were talking earlier, when I go to my family practitioner, like I dislocated my ribs during that triathlon, and I went to my family practitioner, and they were like, we're going to give you this injection of this anti-inflammatory. And I looked at him and I was like, is this going to affect my bipolar? No, you'll be fine. And one of the first things that says, do not give to someone with bipolar, because there's such a disconnect between the medical community. Like a doctor, an MD, a physical doctor, and a psychiatrist and therapist, we should all be working together as a team, because it's not the mind and the body. It's one thing.
Yeah.
It works together.
Definitely. And we were just talking earlier that if you are struggling and you can't get out of bed, a doctor handing you a card saying, call these people for therapy, you're not going to do it. If you can't get out of bed, if you can't get up to brush your teeth, you're not going to have the energy to call somebody and get set up. That's why we like to take that out of their hands, call them, get them set up. We have virtual, we have in person, we've got older and younger men and women, non-binary. We've got whatever you need to see, we can make it happen, because it's important that you get in then and there so that you can better yourself and be the person you want to be.
That's such a good environment to be in, to not only be in as client, but as an employer, employee. I have to ask, how big is your team at these offices?
So it depends on the office. We started in St. John's, and then we expanded in Alma, Midland. Those three are about 20-ish clinicians, a little bit less. We have somewhere around 76 clinicians over the entire company. And now we have med management, so.
That's huge. That's huge. And you said you just got a new nurse practitioner for two, so you're taking even more clients.
Yep. And if you need med management, she doesn't have a wait list. She accepts every single insurance. And then if you don't have insurance, or you don't have an insurance that most people take, we have interns who can see her too. So just because of insurance problems doesn't mean you can't get care.
That's nice.
It's more than
Yeah.
that. Fantastic. And I like to move my practice to you. Say that. Do you have any volunteer opportunities for students? I know you say you have interns, so
We have interns, so that's for somebody who is going through and wanting to be a therapist in their future. Volunteer, I would say I'm planning on doing some events like you guys have set up and just kind of breaking the stigma and working towards the community involving in mental health awareness. So in the future, we'll definitely be posting on our Facebook page when we have opportunities. I do want to do suicide walks and I want to just do breaking the stigma events. So
Right.
definitely something we're interested in.
What we talked about therapy over there earlier at your table, that you offer, cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, but you don't offer just the basic therapy. What else do you offer? Like we were talking about some other therapies that like I've never even heard of before.
Michigan Psychological Care, when I say we have everything, we have everything. So CBT, DBT, EMDR, we have a new thing that's kind of new to Michigan. It's called TRE, and it's not new to the world. It's just newer here. We have one of, I believe, 7 clinicians in the entire state who does TRE, and she's based in Alma, but she can do it virtually as well. And that's working through traumas, and it's movement stimulation that helps get rid of traumas and anxieties and depressions. It can actually help with your physical health as well. So,
And that's the movement that you were talking about, the shaking.
yep.
What's EMDR?
EMDR is eye movement. So if you watch somebody sleeping, a lot of times their eyes will move back and forth when you're like, they're sleeping and you can see through their eyelid that their eyes are moving. That's the same thing that we try to mimic in EMDR, and it's supposed to be where you're at the most peace. And so you can work through traumas and things that you didn't even necessarily know were there, and you can work through that without all of the talking that a lot of other therapies require.
that is more intense though, right? That is more like every week, correct?
So it depends. It doesn't have to be every week, but we do require that you're in active therapy during that. So you can't just go to EMDR because you need to have somewhere to let go of some of those emotions as well. So therapy in conjunction with EMDR.
I know
Yeah, it's a
you just
lot.
expanded your office and we had a couple last time you were here. For offices?
So even beyond just the therapy offices that we have ABA, and we just bought a new ABA building here in Midland. So we're going to be able to expand and take on more kiddos with autism. And once we kind of solidify everything that we have going right now, we're definitely going to be expanding across all of Michigan because it's important to us that people have care that is accessible for that.
So something that I have noticed trying to get resources to Delta College is that it's very difficult to find autism resources for adults. Like ABA therapy, I've noticed is a lot for children. Will you plan on having any resources for autism for adults?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important that we don't just stop care because you've hit a certain age. And a lot of that in the past was because insurances actually said once you
Right.
hit 18 or 21, you can no longer seek ABA care. But in the last, I would say probably 2 years, maybe, they have broken that down and a lot of them expanded to 25. And then when that started happening, other ones were like, you can go at any age. So we are looking at insurances opening up that age bracket so you can seek care at any age.
Have you seen autism, the ABA therapy help improve adults?
Absolutely. I think it can help improve for everybody. I actually just had a best friend text me saying that she was getting an autism test done, and then a little while later she texted me and said she got the diagnosis, and they're looking at doing ABA care just for some of the comfortability in being in social environments and being able to talk to people comfortably and look them in the eyes and not doing some of the things that make them uncomfortable.
Right.
It's really just helping people reach the neurotypical level of their peers comfortably. We're not trying to make them fit in the puzzle. We're just trying to help them be comfortable where they are.
Right. That's awesome. That's cool. When you guys open that up, let me know.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have a table just for that portion of the.
We do have it open right now. We just bought a new building, so we're getting bigger.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. There's a lot of child ABA therapy in the area. Like I can think of 5 just off the top of my head.
Yep.
And I reached out to Michigan Autism Free Network.
Was it Michigan Autism Care and ABA Services?
Maybe I can't remember.
That's us.
No, it wasn't that one.
Okay.
It was a different one.
Yep, we got the answer.
But even they were having a hard time trying to find the proper resources that I needed for students because autism is a problem for children, yes, but it's also a problem once you become 18, 19, 20, 40.
Yeah. And we've actually even seen in the last couple of years, TikTok can make everybody think that they have everything under the sun, but it can also break that stigma and it can show you some symptoms that maybe you had and you never recognized. And so more people are getting diagnosed for autism now than ever. Autism can look like ADHD. ADHD can look like autism. High anxiety can look like either of them. So it's really important that if you're having these symptoms, you go and get a psychological evaluation done so you know where to move forward.
That's interesting. Have you guys moved into ketamine therapy yet?
We have not, though it's something that we've looked into a little bit here and there. I think once we've solidified everyone in the company, like where they're at, our offices are semi-new and then ABA is new. Once all of that is settled, we're going to be adding more services to every single office.
All right. Do you have anything that you want to talk about before we end it?
Well, I think what you guys are doing is great, breaking the stigma, 1 for the students, but 2 for the people walking by. You've got staff and faculty who need resources for the students that they're teaching, and oftentimes just walking by and being like, oh yeah, let me just grab that can help them in the long run because it can be a matter of a day for somebody.
Yeah.
We appreciate you and all that you do. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right.